Senior Director of Qualcomm Technologies.
Great. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. And on behalf of Qualcomm, I want to extend my gratitude for you to come here and join us in our press event and to hear what we have new that we'll be sharing with you with you throughout this week. So first of all, wanted to just share a little thoughts with you. I think I've been with Qualcomm about 13 years, and we've been coming to Computex now for about 8 years. The very first time we came to Computex, we were in a little room at the Grand Hyatt that maybe fits 10 people, and we had one demo, and that one demo was our first gigahertz processor that we were going to put in the phone. And you compare that to how the industry has evolved over the last 8 years, and you can tell there's a lot of excitement that we want to share with you. And over that period of time, Qualcomm has since, with our acquisition of Atheros, and then eventually recently with our acquisition of CSR, we've really firmly implanted ourselves into the PC as well as the mobile ecosystem, which are merging and reshaping really Computex to today as well. So with that, what are we doing today? I'm just going to say a few words to share with you the high level of what Qualcomm is doing, and then we have several announcements today as well. And then Rahul Patel, who heads up our connectivity business unit, will be following and giving you highlights of what we're doing in that growing space. And then following Rahul, we'll have Pankaj Kadia. Pankaj will be is the head of our wearables business in a very strong segment in IoT, and we'll be sharing with you many of the wonderful things we're doing in smartwatches and really kicking off that wearable space. So recently we announced that there are over 1 billion devices now that is that is using Qualcomm solutions in the IoT space. So we're really entering a new phase, and that new phase is really the IoT, the Internet of Things. It was really, if you think about it, it was really the mobile industry, the entire mobile industry, not just Qualcomm, the entire mobile industry, which worked together to show how important connectivity is, right? And just being able to connect everything. Beyond smartphones, we're looking at this year 3.4 billion smartphones out in the market today. But if you look at the opportunity for everything else to be connected, from PCs to washing machines to automobiles to kitchen appliances, you're talking tens of billions of devices that will require connectivity. It was really the mobile industry that I think really highlighted how important, how critical being able to connect everything is. And then if you look at at what's happening with IoT, but what is Qualcomm's role in this? And I think this will explain and put in perspective some of the press releases and announcements that Rahul and Pankaj will be making as well. But first of all, what do you do about the network? So today you have on your networks today you have 3-4 billion devices running on them globally. In a year or so, you're going to be talking about 20 or 30 billion devices that will now be riding on the same network. Okay, so what are the impacts on the network, and what are those implications going to be? And then embracing everything, the diversity of the products that you're going to be seeing. So we're not talking just about smartphones anymore, like I said before, cars and light bulbs, and we have some demos of light bulbs and appliances and everything that will also be connected. But one thing, finally, that I think we do really well is Qualcomm is known for our ability to offer the lowest possible power consumption, the smallest size to enable the smallest form factors, and be able to scale down for the devices that we're going to see that will be necessary for IoT. And just what is it? And again, this is what Qualcomm does better than any of the market, anybody else in the market. It's really about the integration, being able to integrate CPU, GPU, LTE modem functions, all the multimedia, and then being able to offer solutions in terms of 11AC, 11AD, integration at the back end, integration at the front end for RF. That is really what Qualcomm is known for. And as we move towards IoT space, going up is going to be very, very important, being able to integrate all this, but also the ability to offer discrete Wi-Fi, discrete Bluetooth, leading edge solutions are also going to be very, very important as well. And Qualcomm has a scale and the ability to go both extremes. So a couple of things that don't want to bury the lead, or what you want to talk about here today. A couple of things, and again, Rahul and Pankaj will have some announcements, but we'll also be talking about this 401X low power intelligent Wi-Fi solution. Again, increasing power, enhancing security, minimizing size, and these are some of the innovation that we're taking to this space. Plus some ecosystem support for Wi-Fi solutions. HomeKit, Google Weave all joined, and those press releases will be available, so I won't go into them in details, but the objective of this is to be able to give developers the ability to more easily work with the solution, our Wi-Fi solutions that we have. But also important is not forgetting where we come from, and our latest chipset design, Snapdragon 820, has been very, very successful in the market. So I think many of the reports and reviews that have come out have very favorable accounts of how the chip and the smartphones that we power have been performing. You know, for your interest, I think of a few things. ASUS just announced these 3 new devices yesterday. One based on Snapdragon 820, Zenfone 3, as well as a couple based on the 652 and the 625. And these are all new devices on Snapdragon. This was probably one of ASUS's first premium tier devices. I'm very excited about how the market will receive the new ASUS devices. HTC, the 10 was announced right after in the March timeframe, and so far the reviews on the 10 have been tremendous, and we're looking forward to a strong sell-through from HTC on this tier. This is really a tier where HTC is most comfortable going into the second half of the year. So all told, on the Snapdragon 820, we have about 115 active designs on this. So we're expecting that a very broad lineup of Snapdragon 820 based devices going into the rest of the year. And any discussion from Qualcomm, you know, we would be remiss if we didn't say something about 5G. Right? And certainly, I think as we talked about, really interesting in that as we were evolving from 2, 3 to 4G, it was mostly about the air interface. It was about speeds and feeds. How fast were you going to deliver the information? How fast were you going to download the information? That's still going to be the case in 5G. And 5G will also be broader in terms of its integration in mobile computing and in incorporating Wi-Fi and others. But the portion of the technology which hasn't had that focus is really on the network side. If you think about the internet, you know, the internet of yesterday was really not designed to handle all the traffic and all the bandwidth that's going to be required for all these new IoT devices that will be coming out in the next few years. So I think 5G, in the eyes of Qualcomm, being able to deliver a lot of these services, not only about the air interface going to the future, but there's going to be a strong emphasis on the network capabilities as well. And we're really looking forward to working with a lot of our partners in Taiwan, developing, testing, and creating new 5G services and capabilities. So here in Taiwan, I think you'll be able to hear some additional announcements from us throughout this summer. We have a lot of plans in terms of investing in the market to be able to work with the carriers as well as our OEM and ODM base on 5G. We have a lot of initiatives that we're looking at with our supplier ecosystem as well, with TSMC and SPIL and ASE and others. On that, we're really looking forward to engaging more and more with the Taiwan ecosystem here. So with that intro, I wanted to now introduce Rahul Patel, our head of our connectivity business unit. We'll talk about some of our latest initiatives in that area. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good? Very good. Thank you for taking the time, first thing in the morning on the Computex week, to be with us. I really appreciate it. As Terry said, my name is Rahul Patel, and I manage the connectivity business at Qualcomm. As Terry indicated, the world is changing. It's becoming very complex. The importance of connectivity to deliver the experience that's needed in the consumer screen or handheld device is critical. And so this presentation today is going to talk about what are we going to do as Qualcomm, the pioneer in wireless technologies and products, to help fuel that experience delivery that the consumer is coming to expect of us. As leaders, we have the charter to chart the way for that experience delivery, and this presentation is going to hint on things that we are doing and also convince you that we are the game in town delivering that product and technology that's needed in the marketplace. If you look at the landscape, you know, this is a typical home situation. We started off with one or two devices in the home that will be wirelessly connected, and you look at how things have evolved over time. You have moved to a television screen that is now wirelessly connected to the internet. You've moved to thermostats and temperature control and security devices that are wirelessly connected. You've moved to music systems, multimedia screens in the home that are delivering content and experiences over wireless connectivity. And you add on and on some of these wireless connectivity. I haven't even talked about Internet of Things, and things that we don't know or don't see in our homes today are going to come to play in the home. What this is doing is largely making our wireless networks a lot more congested, a lot more dense, and it kind of builds out. Today, the world is moving to a multi-dwelling ecosystem where you have a lot more people in a dense environment living. You know, you see a lot of this happening in Asia, where you have one room, now many rooms in an apartment, and now the entire building is populated with wireless technologies, all kinds of technologies, be it Wi-Fi, the 2.4 gig band, be it 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, be it 2.4 PLE or Bluetooth, be it Zigbee and whatnot. More technologies coming into play. And as a result, we are so condensed in our networks, we are kind of tripping over each other in terms of consumption. And as a result, taking away that experience that the consumer has come to expect of wireless connectivity. So, with that in mind, what is Qualcomm going to do about all this? Right, if you look at the approach many companies take, they are like one-trick product lines. They do one radio technology, and they do sometimes well in one product line, but then they miss out on dealing with challenges when multiple frequencies come to play, multiple experiences over multiple wireless dimensions come to play, and as a result, there is no symphony or orchestrated mechanism in which you deliver the experience that comes across as being unique and something that does not compromise on the content delivery. At Qualcomm, we bring three major pillars of the experience together. One is capacity. That means you want more content to be delivered, you want more throughput, you want faster application delivery. Context and experience, that's the second big pillar, which is fairly complicated. It's not only about radio technology, but it's also understanding what the experience needs to be. Understanding what the application that is going to traverse that network or that wireless network going to demand. And how is this experience or the application level optimization going to be happening over multiple applications that are simultaneously sourced over the network. And also keeping in mind what the user is coming to expect, what the user is going to see the application to be first, ahead of everything else, what the user's expectations overall are from an intelligence that the network is supposed to deliver to the user. You will see a couple of examples in my presentation. And all of this can come together only if we leverage or have the ability to leverage multiple radio technologies working in concert with each other. You have Wi-Fi, you have BLE, you have Zigbee, you have LTE, you have many other Wi-Fi, BLE, LTE, multiple sourcing radio technologies and devices. You have some devices that have one, may not have more than one, but then as a company that brings all these technologies together, how do you deliver a converged experience so you leverage all resources that are available to you? You also optimize the final cost that you deliver. You also optimize for the battery life experience. And so you have to have the convergence pillar or the holistic approach also addressed. You can't be one-trick pony in the wireless world and not come across as being holistic to the end consumer. So net-net, to deliver the ultimate experience that a consumer is coming to expect in a dense, congested environment of wireless technologies around us, you have to secure and deliver experience over three major pillars simultaneously. Capacity, being context aware and application aware, and also leverage the convergence of all these technologies working in concert together. Let's talk about capacity. What is capacity? Capacity is using the spectrum, using multiple spectrums together, be it 2.4, be it 5, be it multiple bands of LTE, be it 60 gigahertz, all these spectrum technologies coming together. Convergence is also about delivering the best experience. You have multiple antenna systems in devices, the end product. How do you leverage the antenna technology so that you can reuse some of the hardware that's already available in the platform to deliver a significantly enhanced experience? For example, in a lot of the phones and products today, if you have a single product focused device like a Wi-Fi device in the phone, you may be able to leverage one or two antennas that you have as a result of the platform constraints. With converged technologies, you would be able to derive larger capacities by using multiple antenna systems that could also be used to deploy a higher order magnitude Wi-Fi experience by leveraging 3, 4 other antennas that are not necessarily designed for Wi-Fi. And then through the experience of leveraging the basic building blocks of technologies, basic analog technology, basic RF technology, you leverage power optimization dimension like no other technology, single technology can. You leverage for delivering the best cost possible because it's very compact, it's reusing some of the products, other technologies that are already available in the platform. Net-net, there's three ways to deliver capacity in the most efficient manner. leverage the spectrum, all spectrum that are available to you, leverage all subsystem antennas in this platform, and also leverage the cost dimension, the battery life dimension, through the efficiency that you generate through convergence. You've already seen in Wi-Fi, there was Wave 1 Wi-Fi, which was single-user MIMO technology. You could get to servicing multiple clients in a time division multiplex environment where you service one client at a time. Qualcomm was the first to bring Wave 2 Wi-Fi to the marketplace about a year back. We launched first at Computex last year. Today, many customers are launching with multi-user MIMO. Wave 2 technology also pushes the channel bandwidth to 160 megahertz channelization. What this does is effectively takes the network that you had before and now increase the capacity by 3x for the same number of streams that you would deliver. All platform like this to the marketplace. The big applications for this kind of platform is obviously the routers, the access point routers that you will find in the mainstream category, which is in the price point that is in the average price point category, about $100 or so, $100 to $150 or so final product cost that the consumer would have. Also, this becomes a fantastic platform to support the new ecosystem that is emerging, which is a mesh Wi-Fi, mesh BLE network, because we have the ability to integrate and support BLE as well. So this repeater network that is going to show up in the marketplace this year in a big way can be easily supported with this product as well. This product also supports the previously announced Qualcomm's Wi-Fi SON technology, self-organizing network. We'll talk a little bit about SON in a minute, just to kind of share with you what it is or remind you what it was when we announced. More capacity also can be delivered through opening up of new spectrum. Qualcomm, through its acquisition of Velocity a couple of years back, brought in 60 gigahertz into the Wi-Fi spectrum like no other company has today. With its capabilities, we now have the ability to route traffic over a brand new spectrum that's got a whole lot of capacity, a whole lot of performance, a higher magnitude of fire rates, going up to 4 to 7 gigabits per second versus what a typical Wi-Fi would do. It improves the productivity because now you have the ability to drive applications like wireless docking. You have the ability to kind of stream Ultra HD or 4K video with minimal to no compression. You have the ability to backhaul with 60 gigahertz as well. And obviously, one big other usage case is delivering wireless I/O with 60 gigahertz, removing the need for wires, because now you have better performance than your typical USB cable that you would have to connect to your phone or to your PC or devices that cannot easily connect today because the connectors are vastly different. So more capacity through 60 gigahertz and the spectrum that now Qualcomm brings to its products in the marketplace. Okay, what is context in network nomenclature, and what does it do to the experience? I would want to kind of, it's a new concept, it's not widely deployed, but pioneered by Qualcomm, and I want to kind of take this in context of my good friend Emily Chen. She is a hard-working professional mom who also wants to take care of the family. She has no time. All the time she's on the run. She is wanting to have an intelligent way to have a handle on what does she need to do from grocery shopping point of view. She's a good user of her handset, like many people in Taiwan today. So here's Emily Chen. She's got a list of, she can build a list of grocery products that she needs to buy on a daily basis or a weekly basis, whatever her frequency may be, or she can rely on the intelligence that her network can provide to her. So Emily Chen has a refrigerator in the home that's an IoT refrigerator. It's connected, intelligent enough to kind of inform Emily of everything that's in the refrigerator, what's been consumed, what is being needed to be replenished or brought home through the grocery store. And Emily does not have to worry about making sure she has a handle on what's inside the refrigerator or worry about what's been consumed, what's not been consumed, because her phone is going to get a snapshot from the refrigerator on a periodic basis. Through her refrigerator and through her kind of knowing off the top of her head what she needs to get, she has plugged in some data into her phone. Now she has a grocery list to kind of shop for. She goes into the grocery store. There's a few things she wants to know. Where can I find these things? Because she's on the go. She doesn't have time. She's on the go. Grocery stores today are fairly complex. They have more than one product on the same category on the store shelf. It's not clear which is the right product. There's a profile that Emily Chen has for her and her family in her phone that's private to her. But this profile matches with everything that she needs to buy in the grocery store. This profile matches her needs, her dietary habits, her family's dietary habits, and what's best for her family. This profile also does a good job of making sure Emily Chen knows about what's on sale in the store. And if something's not in the store on sale and it's not perishable and it's available online, she has the ability to order it online as well. Here's the experience that Emily Chen gets as a result of the network being contextually aware. Here's the experience the average consumer around the world is going to have as a result of the network being contextually aware and being optimal from the entire experience. Grocery store is just one example. There's a lot of things that you can derive from this contextually aware network. You can be in a mall and you can visualize what can happen in a mall. You can be in a clothing store and you can visualize what can happen in a clothing store. Today, when I go to a clothing store on a holiday weekend like this weekend, while I'm in Taiwan, somebody is in US shopping on a Memorial Day weekend, or in Chinese New Year holidays shopping spree, you have long lines at the payment counter. If you know exactly what you want, you know what's on the sale basically on your phone, the phone is going to take you to the store shelf exactly where you want to buy that stuff that you want, your clothing, your apparel, your size, your color. It's going to help you check out straight from the phone. You don't have to go to the line at the checkout counter and walk away from the store with a purchase. This is the experience that contextually aware networks can derive. You can experience this in your enterprise, in your workplace, in your schools, and everywhere else that you can imagine your network can help you in bringing that additional productivity. What are the things, what are the pillars of contextually aware network from a user experience point of view that we need to be mindful of? You need to be aware of the action. It has to be independent of everything else that takes place. It has to be tied to the personalization dimension of that user. It has to be optimized. It cannot be confusing to the user. It has to infer context. It has to know where the person is. It has to know what the network would be able to communicate to the person through the handheld device. It has to gather data. It has to be intelligent, analytical over time, developing habits, understanding intelligence around the person's habits, understanding what the person's choices could be, what the family choices could be. So all of these things are very critical for delivering the contextually aware experience at a consumer level. From a technology point of view, what has Qualcomm done about it? About a couple of weeks back, at the 2016 Google I/O, Qualcomm announced always aware technology and a product. What does this do? It is a very low power DSP engine. It's got the ability to assimilate Wi-Fi scans. Understand with some accuracy based on these Wi-Fi technologies. Over time, you can expect 60 gigahertz to contribute to this as well. Efficiently, when I say efficiently, in a low power manner, not draining the battery, be it a subsystem on its own, not kind of tax the apps processor that is in your handheld device, use the efficient cellular network, and also leverage all the sensors, the step counting, the XYZ axis information that you can get from your phone. Just as an example, there's multiple sensors, including the radio technologies, that assimilate into this intelligent DSP engine, low power DSP engine to deliver the Qualcomm always aware experience. And it was announced at Google I/O a couple of weeks back. Net, from a networking technologies point of view, what do you need? You need to be aware of how some of the wireless network technologies work, be it 11AC, 11N. AD, going forward 11AX, be it in multiple bands, 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, 60 gigahertz, be it cellular technology, be it BLE, you can see how complex this gets. You have to have the ability, unique ability, to kind of take input from all these technologies all at the same time. You have to have the ability to move fast, derive the computation, derive the analytics that would ultimately give a very intelligent message or outcome to the end user. And you have to kind of deliver something that's actionable, right? Be it over the network, talking to the internet, bringing that information back into the consumer hands and deliver that ultimate final decision-making experience that the consumer does not have to worry about. In a similar way, Qualcomm delivered Wi-Fi SON, leveraging our experience from the cellular side on the SON, ultraSON. We took the experience of ultraSON and brought it into Wi-Fi through this SON experience. It's a self-organizing network. Today, it is a complex experience as Wi-Fi networks get more and more complicated to deploy and use in the home. For somebody like my mom, she has trouble setting up the network. She has trouble understanding the security deployment in the network. She has trouble associating to the guest networks when she walks into somebody's home. She has trouble giving access to guests coming into her home. How do we manage all these things? It is an intelligent way that Qualcomm has derived through the Wi-Fi SON delivery over its products. What Qualcomm's done is taken away all those decision-making aspects, which are very complicated. You have to, an IT manager at times, to make those decisions away from the average consumer and kind of build four-pillar subsystem on top of Qualcomm devices and platforms that self-configures, that self-manages for the ultimate experience in a multi-node access point or repeater network, in a mesh network setup. It self-heals. That means if you have a connection issue, and it quickly backtracks to the next best available network node and gives you that experience of having connected, and also defense. The security aspects of it are managed extremely well. If there's an attack going on, it will intelligently move you away from the attack, try to counter-attack that attack and diffuse the situation while leaving you on the network with the experience that you want to experience from the network. End-to-end approach. So you look at Wi-Fi SON, you look at contextually aware deployment of various Qualcomm technologies, and uniquely you can see how Qualcomm brings a complete end-to-end experience. Qualcomm, a semiconductor company with its enormous R&D capability on the software and firmware side, is uniquely delivering this experience that spans over multiple spectrums, spans over multiple protocols, spans over multiple technologies, be it cellular, be it Wi-Fi, BLE, be it Zigbee, and many more to come in the years, and delivers this experience that people like Emily Chan, people like my mom, have come to expect of the wireless world that we are in today. The third big pillar of delivering a holistic network is convergence. Convergence is a very loosely used term in the industry. From a Qualcomm perspective, convergence is a lot more challenging engineering task that is going to help deliver the network experience that customers come to expect. Customers have multiple wireless assets in their products. Sometimes it's LTE, sometimes it's LTE and Wi-Fi, sometimes it's LTE Wi-Fi BLE, it's LTE Wi-Fi Zigbee, or other technologies that come to GPS. Multiple technologies coming into the platform. If there's a one product company, be it a Wi-Fi company or be it a BLE company, you can expect convergence is not coming from those companies. You are not going to be able to leverage the best of the experience because you don't have access to the cellular technology. You don't have access to Wi-Fi technology simultaneously, and you're not able to make use of these technologies working in concert, which is very critical. There's convergence in three forms. There's device-level convergence. What that means is we optimize components, we optimize designs to leverage multiple assets of intellectual property and building blocks that could be in one technology and leverage that in another technology so we don't repeat. What this means is you're going to get better cost structures, you're going to have a better power dimensions. That means battery life is going to improve dramatically. And then you have the ability to take all these resources and aggregate. If you have a cellular network that's able to get you a gigabit per second, you have a Wi-Fi network that, because of the congestion, it's going to only get you 100 megabits per second, you still are able to deliver over a gigabit experience because you could route traffic over the cellular network at that point. If you have a cellular network that's not able to deliver, you're in a 3G place, and you're not able to get gigabit per second as a result, but Wi-Fi is able to, then you are going to bring the cellular and Wi-Fi dimensions together and give you that experience over multiple spectrums working together simultaneously. Convergence also means bringing in the experience in the home, in the enterprises, and in carrier deployment. So there has to be a component of convergence that's going to be traversing the cloud. Managing from the cloud certain network experiences is going to be key. Managing from cloud how the networks are interfering, your neighbor's networks are interfering in your network, managing that dimension is going to be also key. Providing that intelligence back from various devices, from the access point, is going to be key. Providing that intelligence of having a small cell, Wi-Fi, BLE, IoT capable hub, all integrated in one platform is going to be key on a going forward basis. I can't think of any company being able to deliver that experience, a converged platform like Qualcomm today is. If you look at LTE and Wi-Fi, they are two different technologies in how they came to life. LTE is very much like Beijing, nicely organized, infrastructure from roads. Wi-Fi is very similar to Hong Kong, organically grown. It's a lot more congested. It's not designed from ground up, basically like Beijing is. It's managed not as well as Beijing network is from the top-down methodology like LTE is. Wi-Fi is managed, tried to manage in smaller chunks, and it is a lot more congested. We need a way to converge the two disparate subsystems basically together so that we can improve holistic experience that comes together as a result of LTE and Wi-Fi coming together. That is convergence, in my opinion. I wanted to use these examples of Beijing and Hong Kong because they are things that we experience when we travel to Beijing and Hong Kong in terms of the traffic congestion and how well or not well they work for people at times. From a platform point of view, convergence is bringing the access wireless technologies and wired technologies together. It is not going to be different on a going forward basis. The consumer is going to expect the broadband to be delivered over wireless technologies. You can bring in the broadband in the home over copper through DSL or fiber through POD or through cable, but you would have to deliver the final experience over wireless networks in the home or in the enterprises. It's going to take a lot of optimization, intelligence sharing between the PHY technologies, the system technologies on the broadband side and the wireless technology side. It's going to take a lot of in-concert operation between various wireless technologies so that the interference in the home network or the enterprise network is mitigated. It is going to take a lot of contextually aware, intelligent, analytical networkness to be deployed in the network to deliver the experience. Today, I'll talk about myself. In my home, I just looked up my AT&T bill. And in my AT&T bill, I realized, last month I consumed almost 650 gigabytes of data over broadband. That's a lot. Because about a year back, I did the compare, and I was consuming about 200 gigabytes of data. So in a year, my consumption went up 3x. And what has changed? Big change. I don't watch television in the traditional way that I used to. And so is the case in my home. Everybody watches the video content delivered over the top in the home. My kids, my wife, myself, we are always either on YouTube, Netflix, or some or other over-the-top network delivery subsystem. And all of that comes over Wi-Fi. So imagine my home Wi-Fi network being 3x, delivering in terms of the capacity, and also delivering experiences that are not the HD experience or standard definition experience that was there about a year back. It's more about Ultra HD or 4K most of the times. It goes from being on a 5-inch screen to a 7-inch screen to a 12-inch screen to a 55, 65-inch screen. And so if I don't have a network that's going to self-regulate, self-optimize, be contextually aware of where that experience is delivered, and I'm going to not be able to deliver the experience that is expected of the wireless network. And so this is what is needed from the converged platform to deliver to the average consumer in the home. And bringing all these technologies, DSL, Wi-Fi, BLE, cellular, is critical in one platform on a going forward basis. As Qualcomm, our customers and OEMs and ODMs in Taiwan have been very supportive in adopting our technologies. We have a huge breadth of customers, a sample of customers right here. Terry talked about our mobile customers, ASUS, HTC in Taiwan. We have a huge ODM base that's supporting a lot of Qualcomm's development around the world. We have a huge amount of OEMs that we work directly with in home, as well as in enterprise, as well as in carrier market segments. Through these customers, you can expect Qualcomm to continue to deliver the connectivity experience the average consumers come to expect of these customers. And with the ability to bring all these technologies together and more as we go into the future, you can rest assured we are going to be the pioneer in wireless world on a going forward basis, be it in the home, enterprise, or in the carrier market segment. Thank you. Talking about the world of the future, which is the IoT world, I would like to welcome Pankaj Kedia, my colleague who manages the wearable business for Qualcomm, on the stage to share with you what's happening new in this space. Thank you.
Please welcome Pankaj Kedia, the Qualcomm Wearables Business Lead.
I'm running out of hands, so let me arrange my watches. Good morning. Good morning. Zhao Shan Hao. I'm delighted to be here. Today we'll talk about wearables. Over the next hour, we will announce one Qualcomm chipset. We'll announce 4 chipset-based platforms from our ODM partners. We'll announce 4 customers. And we have a very special guest. So let's get started. Terry talked about Internet of Things. When we think about Internet of Things, we think about body, home, and city. Devices on me, that's smart bodies. Devices in and around the home, that's smart homes. And devices out and about in the city, that's smart cities. I have the privilege of leading the wearable business. So let's talk about wearables. Today I have 7 wearables on me. How many do you have? Our prediction is, over the next few years, each one of you will have multiple wearables. Some will be sitting here, like head-mounted display. Some will be here. God gave me 2 hands, so I use them. My clothing is smart. Actually, my shoe is smart. So over a period of time, each one of us will have multiple wearable devices. They'll be talking to each other. They'll be communicating with each other. They'll be computing. They'll be talking to the cloud. They'll be talking to the cloud through my phone. But imagine 7 billion people with multiple wearable devices. As a chip company, we are excited about that future. As a customer, I know you are excited too. So we started this business summer of 2014. Over the last 2 years, our customers have announced 100 products. 100 products. They've chosen Qualcomm 100 times. That's roughly 1 new product a week, right? Think about which segment has that kind of momentum. We are covering many, many segments. In the Android Wear segment, 80% of smartwatches are, of course, based on Qualcomm. I'm wearing a beautiful LG smartwatch. Most of the connected watches, the first LTE watch, the first VoLTE watch is, of course, based on Qualcomm. You expect us to be there. We are there. You know, there is only one company in the world that has support for all of the OSs you can imagine. Android, Android Wear, Tizen, WebOS, RTOS, Linux. We have products shipping on each one of those today. I'm happy to be wearing the Samsung Gear S2, running Tizen. Keeps me connected all the time, every time. There is only one company that has technologies all the way from lowest power BLE to GNSS to Wi-Fi to modems to full chipsets, everything in between. Today we have 8 or 10 products we are shipping today to our customers to go after these segments. And there is only one company who has the wherewithal, has the channel, has the customer base, has shipping products from wearable accessories, you know, things you wear, to smart bands, to smartwatches, to smart glass, to VR headsets, to smart headsets, and so on and so forth. So we are truly excited about the wearable space, by OS, by segment, by customer base, by technology. The question is, where are we going next? So, you know, there is a lot of excitement in the wearable space. There's a lot of innovation in the wearable space. Over the last few years, we have seen the level of enthusiasm only increase. And we have seen the market segmented. That's the classic sign of a new category emerging. Today, when we say wearables, it is not one size fits all. It could be a smart glass or a head-mounted display. It could be a smartwatch, connected or not. It could be any number of kid watches and elderly watches and fitness trackers and pet tracking devices. It could be these headsets going smart. It could be what you wear. So 3 months ago, Qualcomm made the strategic decision to extend the brand that we have built up over the last 7 or 10 years in Snapdragon and create a new platform, create a new sub-brand we call Snapdragon Wear. Snapdragon Wear brings the best of Snapdragon. The right CPU, the right GPU, the right sensor code, the right Wi-Fi, the right Bluetooth, the right modem, the right 10 other things I forget. With the wearable requirements that consumers expect from our customers, with wearable KPIs that all of you expect Qualcomm to deliver. So we established the platform, we announced the sub-brand, we announced the first chipset based on that platform. We call Snapdragon Wear 2100. Snapdragon Wear 2100 is designed from the ground up for multi-purpose wearables. Multi-purpose wearables generally run a high-level OS like Android. They do a number of things. There is a breadth of application out there. The ecosystem is advancing really, really fast. We announced this platform. We talked about how Snapdragon Wear 2100 scales across glasses, smartwatches, kid watches, elderly watches. And we announced what the dramatic improvements we are making in the 4 core wearable vectors: size, power, sensors, connectivity. Size. What we have been shipping is already the lowest power chipset in this category. We were not satisfied. We made it 30% smaller. The power was already lowest in the industry. We were not happy with that. We made it 25% lower. We integrated the sensor hub in the chipset. It runs at very, very low power and is always sensing, always listening. And of course, we expect this from Qualcomm. It has our next generation modem, highly optimized for use cases around these devices. So, Snapdragon 2100 announced in February. It is shipping today. The final version is shipping today. And we expect products to ship in second half. But today we are here to announce new things. So today I'm delighted to announce the other half of our strategy, a customized, targeted chipset for the lower half of this slide, for targeted purpose wearables. These kind of devices focus on 2 or 3 or 5 use cases and do them really well. It could be a kid watch, it could be an elderly watch, it could be a fitness tracker, it could be a headset. The same 4 vectors: size, power, sensors, connectivity, of course matter here. But a 5th vector also matters. We call the 5th vector secure location. You know, imagine a kid watch. Imagine your 5-year-old wearing that product. You want to know that your daughter is safe and secure. You want to know where she is. So these are the 5 vectors for 1100. And at Qualcomm, we are never satisfied. If you look at the improvements we are making from generation to generation, they are mind-boggling. 45% smaller. A week-long LTE standby. Support for a range of sensors. Of course, the same Cat 1 modem that we use in 2100. Hardware-based security and integrated GPS. This platform runs Linux, also supports RTOS. We have a number of customer announcements today. I can't wait to get to them. But before we jump in, I'm going to take one of these segments, kid watches, kid tracking devices. Very popular actually in Asia. The chipset we are announcing today, Snapdragon Wear 1100, will unleash the kid watch category segment and take us global. It's very exciting for us. Why would it take it global? To understand that, I'm to bring on stage Rika Nakazawa from Frog Design. As many of you must know, Frog is a leading design house. They've been innovating on user experience for the last several years. And when we talked to Rika and understood the fundamental human needs of a kid and her parent, we said, this trend in Asia can become a phenomenon around the world. So let's please welcome Rika.
Good morning, Ohio gozaimasu, Nitao, and good morning. I think I have most of the languages covered today. I'm Rika, and welcome. I head our global strategic partnerships at Frog. We are a design and strategy consultancy. We've been around for more than 40 years, and we help scale transformation by creating systems of product, service, and design, and at the intersection of people, design, and technology. So we're talking about wearables today, and kids' wearables, and I'm probably dating myself for those of you, and I'm not sure if this candy ever made it here, but I remember growing up, my first wearable was, am I not pushing the right button? Okay. So my first wearable was the temporary tattoo that you got in the Cracker Jack box. I don't know how many of you ever had that. And just last month, it made headlines that Cracker Jacks announced that there was going to be, the prize in the box was going to be digitized. And I remember thinking to myself, does that mean it's going to have an RFID chip in the temporary tattoo? Maybe, maybe not. I'm based in San Francisco, and wearables is all the buzz. And I remember distinctly the first time I saw Google Glass. I was in a very hip bar down in Soma, and all of a sudden everything went very quiet. And I thought there was an idol or a superstar coming into the bar, and it was just somebody with Google Glass, and I saw flashes like today. But it was people taking pictures of this gentleman coming in with Google Glass. I was also an early participant in the Pebble Watch Kickstarter campaign, which the original goal of that was $500,000, and they raised $20 million for the Pebble Watch. About a month later, Fast Company published an article about the Disney Magic Band, which is arguably probably the greatest footprint of a kid's wearable today. And the article also talked about Frog Design's role in the design of the actual wristband, the kiosk, and as well as the digital interface. And, but we'll be talking more about the Magic Band in a bit. So the work we did for Disney was a few years ago, and our passion and opportunities to engage in the space is only growing. Most recently, in fact, we did a call to action together with UNICEF and ARM to basically develop innovative, affordable solutions to make wearables and sensor technology a game changer for women and children around the world. We got responses from 46 countries, 6 continents. There's a lot of interest all around the world, as Pankaj was saying, to figure out how to get into the space with kids and wearables. What you see up here is one of the finalists was called Pretty Baby, who we're working with now, Frog. It's a wearable platform to bridge the immunization gap. It's a system for tracking vaccination and mobilization in the last mile. but we'll get more to kids' wearables on health and wellness later. So let's just level up for a moment and talk about what we're looking at, because wearables is still very experimental, as we all know today. The design of the device will obviously be dictated by where on the body, what is it that you're making, as Pankaj was saying, this is a total canvas for that, and of course, the why. And that's really fundamentally what I'd love to focus on in the talk today. It's the intention or the function that you're looking to create for the experience, to which Raul was also referring on the context and experience, but fundamentally for us at Frog, about the emotional experience that you have with that experience. So when we're thinking about design, which is what we do at Frog, we think about how do we understand people and their needs and their aspirations. And when we think about design as well, it's not just about the human being in isolation for the canvas of wearable devices, but how that human being is connected and interacting with people around them. So let's talk about the wear of the wearable, but first the definition. So simply put, a wearable is an object, one touch point, that can be on, near the body. Over dinner last night, we were talking about the future, perhaps somewhere in the body, embedded, but for a different talk. And it's part of a system. It's a part of a system of people, data, objects, environments, processes, organizations, etc. So there are a few options, as you saw. I don't have nearly as many devices on me as Pankaj did. But today we're talking about the wrist. And what I'd love to focus on is the why. Why are you creating what you're creating when it comes to a kid's wearable, which then defines the what? We're talking about intention. And that's really key to instrumenting the experience. Whether you're a designer or a marketer or anybody else, you have to think about intention, or what is the motivation of the human being. For some, it's money. For others, it's the beautifully written code. But right now, technology and markets are moving so quickly, so fast, that we kind of lose sight of the intention and how we're all creating that single node of the wearable that's connected to the broader spectrum. So through the lens of design, we think about elevating the human experience. Hartmut Esslinger, who's the founder of Frog, he famously talks about how it's not about form just following function in the use case. It's form following emotion. We've all seen it. Novelty wears very thin in its one-hit wonders. You need to design for what's emotionally charging in that experience. So just to show you an example of where design creates a philosophical difference in intention, let's take the Magic Band from Disney and the Apple Watch. So the Magic Band is a smart wearable that looks pretty dumb. There's no screen, but you wave it around and it summons favors. Snow White shows up and talks to your kid, addressing him by name. It unlocks doors. It pays for things. You can basically have keys to the kingdom, and you make the world happen around you, whether you're the parent or the child. The Apple Watch, and others like it, it does have a screen. But no matter how haptic or untethered it is, it's meant to be looked at and interacted with, rather than wielded. So one makes you look up and interact with the world, and the other one makes you look inward. Just as an example of design intent. And when it comes to kids' wearables like the smartwatch, we need to think about the intention, functionality, and emotional experience, not just of the child, but the parents. So you have two audiences you need to fundamentally address. So parents want their kids to safely stretch their imagination. And kids want to be superheroes. Okay, we all want to be superheroes. Parents want their kids to be able to phone home. I just aged myself again as E.T., for those of you who remember that. And kids want to have their minds blown. Parents want to know about their kids. As Pankaj was saying, safety is a big concern. And kids want to know and be connected with their friends. So now that we've anchored the conversation so far around these two sets of users for kids' wearables, let's think about the intention, again, from a functional perspective, eventually leading to the way that's enveloped with emotion, around three vectors: education, learning, play, and health and safety. And what I have up here is just an example of some of the things that speak to this. So you have the mover kit, which is basically a device that a kid can compile and make themselves. And through it, and through activity, it helps them understand the fundamentals of electronics, programming, and solving problems through active play. Next to it is something called Yibu. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you imagine that the screen becomes a wearable, what this is really about, similar to the Disney Magic Band, it's helping kids to understand how they interact outside of the device itself. We helped this company develop these interaction with digital sensors where those blocks that you see next to it, you put it in the fridge, the bear on the screen, kind of like Tamagotchi from years ago, would shiver. If you put it outside, he would get, and it was raining, he would get wet. If you put him next to the heater, he would get hot. So again, this is all about learning and engaging with the world around you. We talked about the Magic Band. It's not interactable in and of itself, but it does unlock a whole world of play and enables the parents to be able to have a seamless experience transactionally and ensuring the kids are utterly blown away. Next to that, we have something called Mop, which is essentially a Bluetooth bangle or bracelet that, depending on what you program on the phone, makes different sounds. So you can be pretending you're playing with a sword, makes the sound of a sword. I don't know if it has a lightsaber sound to it, but that would be pretty cool. Or a guitar. So it's a really fun device for play. And then health and safety. So this Sproutling was one of the designs that came out that was about monitoring your baby's sleep, enabling for you to know what was the optimal way for your baby to get the most amount of sleep, and therefore you most likely to get the most amount of sleep as a parent. And also even make some suggestions as to how the baby's going to feel when they wake up. And then we have LG Kids On. As we were talking about earlier, it's about the safety, and this device enables parents to be able to keep track of their kids and through one touch be able to have a conversation with their parents. Anyway, as we know, there are a lot of examples that talk to us about how the intention of whether it's education and learning, whether it's play, health and safety, probably a combination somewhere across the three, how they all are being developed and produced and designed. But in terms of with the Kids Watch, it's really important to think about not just the function, but what's the way that the experience is going to have an emotional connection so that you don't end up putting the kitchen sink into a single wearable device. So just to recap, and to put the vector on kids, a wearable device is a touch point on the body within a system, so not just isolated in and of itself. But it's a touch point with people, data, objects, environments, processes, and organizations made by humans, for humans, humanity, and about our connectedness, embodying motivation, intention, or aspirations. And in the Kids Watch space, or the Kids Wearable space, there's two constituencies that you need to serve as the parents and the kids. And there's a lot of feeling around today, as we know, about what's the next killer Kids Watch or wearable. What should it feel like? What should it look like? What should it do? And regardless of what device you create, whatever function your team decides to focus on, remember to design ultimately for the elevated experience, that emotional hook, which ironically, I do think that for parents and for adults, that emotion might often be when we feel like we're a kid again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rika. Rika will be hanging out here for the next couple of hours, so if you want to meet her, she's available. Okay, so we announced the chipset Snapdragon 1100. Rika educated us on how to build good products. You know, our customers are already shipping a number of these wearables we have announced over the last year. I have the LG watch. I have the security tracker. Does not look like a watch. And I have the Huawei watch shipping on Docomo in Japan. The question is, how will today's announcement change the game? On this slide, I'm comparing the product shipping today with what you can expect to see in second half this year. Every one of these is a step function improvement. On size, it's about 45% smaller. We are going from ARM9 to ARM7. We are going from 3G to LTE. We are going to the latest and greatest GNSS. We have optimized power for these kind of use cases. So you can wear them, or your kid can wear them for extended periods of time. And of course, we are going from software to hardware-based security. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to our partners, and they will describe for themselves what they are announcing today. But what you will see are kid watches based on both of these platforms. Some of the kid watches are based on Snapdragon Wear 2100. Running Android, they do more. They take advantage of a bright screen. They take advantage of the Android ecosystem. The other announcements will be around Snapdragon Wear 1100. They offer a much more targeted experience. They are running Linux. They hone in on 1 or 2 or 3 use cases that Rika talked about. So first, our ODM partners. You know, any chipset is only as good as the platform that you can build on it. So today we are delighted to announce both Informa, Arison, and Surface Sync as our ODM kid watch partners for the 2 different chipsets. Additionally, these partners have been working with a few OEMs. And today we are disclosing the very first set of OEMs. On 2100, we have Anda from Peru. Anda will launch the product first in Latin America, and then has ambitions to go around the world. We have Informa. They will first launch their kid watch on SK Telecom in Korea. And they want to go to the US and Europe. We have InWatch. InWatch is a pure play, very innovative watch company in China. They are announcing kid watches. They want to address the China market first, and then go around the world. And then finally, V-Bands. V-Bands is in the US. They want to start in the US and go to other parts of the world. So our hope is with the combination of these two chipsets, the early trend we are seeing, or we have seen over the last year in Asia, becomes a global trend. But why don't we invite our partners to describe for themselves what their vision is. So first off, I'm going to invite Scott Runner. Scott runs the IoT business for Alicent. Scott has some very interesting things cooking. Scott.
Good morning. First generation kids' wearables suffered from two fundamental problems. One of them is they were often toys that weren't really designed robustly to be able to deal with kids' playground falls. And they may suffer from cracks in the displays or inability to charge effectively or other problems. The other aspect about these early devices is that they were designed for the parents, not designed for the kids. And while it's extremely important that these devices offer safety and the peace of mind to know where your kid is and if they're in a safe situation, and there's a lot of great stories I think you're going to hear about that address important use case. However, how many of these watches were things that kids put on their birthday list? That, hey, I really want that for my birthday, or I want that for a holiday. So I think in this next generation, enabled by Qualcomm's Snapdragon Wear 2100 and 1100, and all the partners that are involved in this discussion, we're now at the precipice of a new era in kids' wearables where we can unleash the constraints of necessarily having to have something that's designed for the parents in mind and start focusing on something that addresses what the kids are interested in. So as a starting point, why does it necessarily have to be a watch? So if we were to unshackle these devices and liberate them, if you will, what Ericson's developed is a Snapdragon Wear 1100 based modular architecture that we call the Ericsson Adaptable Platform, or ADAPT. So this modular approach would enable you to implement a watch. It would enable you to implement a band or a bracelet or a necklace or a brooch, or even embed in clothing. So it starts to free the mind to think about the possibilities of what might a kid want and what form factors might enable that type of form factor. And why does it necessarily have to stop there? What is one of the most interesting things that kids like, or where do they spend a lot of their time? They spend a lot of their time playing with toys. So why not toys as a form factor as well? So I think the possibilities are endless, and as Rika explained earlier, if we really start with the kid experience and think about how to enable that, I think we can enable some very interesting possibilities. So that's building the right product. Now what about building the product right? So Ericsson brings together human-centered engineering, hardware design, embedded software design, cloud apps, and mobile platform applications in order to create a complete end-to-end solution. We call that customer to chip. And for us, it starts with the kid, it starts with the parent, and works all the way down to the platform. And the chip at the end of this is Qualcomm's device. So we appreciate the opportunity to partner with Qualcomm in enabling these Snapdragon 1100 based platforms, and encourage you to talk to us about realizing those possibilities.
Thank you, Scott. Scott, when can I buy one of these?
Oh, sorry, they'll be available Q3.
Okay, that is July 1 in my language. Okay, next up is Box. Box has been a long-time partner for Qualcomm on the phone side. And over the last year, we decided to extend our marriage in the wearable space. So please welcome George Thangadurai. He runs the global business for Box.
Thank you, Pankaj. Good morning. Box is delighted to be part of this Qualcomm event at Computex. My name is George Thangadurai, and I run the international business for Box. A quick introduction to Box. We are a global leader in IoT solutions, focusing on products, smart connected devices, anywhere from phones, tablets, wearables, to machine. But specifically today, we're going to focus on wearables. And on top of that, we also provide turnkey end-to-end solutions for our customers who want to provide services along with the devices. What does Box bring as an ODM? We as an ODM, our customers are typical OEMs, carriers, and also private brand companies who focus on niche verticals. And what we focus on is to bring a differentiated hardware and differentiated software experience on the product. In this case, leveraging the innovative leadership capabilities of the Qualcomm platform. So we work really closely with our customers to really make sure that they can differentiate their products, bring out the brand signature experience, and make sure that the product is tuned to that particular market, particular region they are focused on. Box has a proven track record. We have shipped more than 15-20 million devices in more than 15 countries. So we have a track record of kind of winning products, award-winning products to bear. And we have a global presence. We are headquartered in China, but our product development and R&D is split between India and China, where we do both hardware and software. And we have global presence in 5 countries, where we're able to be very close to our customers in those geographies to not only commercialize and deploy the devices, but also provide ongoing support. So that is Box in a kind of a nutshell for those who are new to Box. As Pankaj said, we have been a strategic partner of Qualcomm for many years, especially on the phone and tablet platforms. And we are delighted that Qualcomm again chose us to be one of their partners, key partners for the Snapdragon 2100 Wear platform, announcing our first reference design at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Today at Computex, with Qualcomm's great partnership, we are announcing ready to commercialize reference designs for kids, elderly, and also for youth and enterprise. Okay. We have both the reference designs of those watches. For example, this is a for kids watch that is based on the 8919, that we also call Snapdragon Wear 2100, and also a traditional watch. So these watches are not only tethered, but also they are connected. They have 2G, 3G, and 4G capabilities. And we are kind of very proud of the innovation that Qualcomm has brought to bear with the smaller footprint that we can take advantage of. What Box brings on these products, reference products, that you can see at our table is the capabilities that you can bring and commercialize in your products, whether it is a customized user interface, whether it is a customized Android, as well as companion apps. As the previous speakers talked about, you don't want the parents to be giving the kids, but you also want the kids to aspire the watch. You want to have fun with the watch. So what applications, what user experience, things you provide on a kid's watch is more important than just in addition to health and safety that the parents are worried about. Box also provides end-to-end services that goes along with the watches, whether it is App Store, whether it is vertical services like health, fitness, safety tracking, as well as SDKs for our customers who want to customize and provide developers their option to provide localized solutions and applications. So I welcome you to come and try these watches to see Qualcomm's technology in play. And we thank Qualcomm for this opportunity to come and introduce Box. Thank you.
Thank you, George. George, I'm going to ask the same question I asked Scott. When can I buy one? Second half is July 1. Okay, Infomark. You know, we started working with Infomark summer of 2014. And every time I go to Korea, John takes me to this very nice Indian place. And he has beautiful watches. So John.
Good morning. My name is John Han. I'm the global sales for the Infomark. Let me talk about the quick introduction of the Infomark. Infomark is we are pursuing the lifestyle device, connected device, and we'll probably like to provide the last mile for the personal communication in using the 3G and 4G wireless communication. We started the first the wearable business with SK Telecom in 2014, providing name called June. It's the name of the most of the kids. Many of the kids have the name June, so they were named after June. Device is using the Qualcomm chipset, the 6220. We've been very successful with SK Telecom, and it was like more than a triple than our expectation. So next year we developed the June 2. It's also successful, and we found that we would like to provide more features on the device because it's not only the tracking, but it's also the kids want to wear the device. We are actually now introducing the third generation of the kids watch using the Snapdragon Wear 2100. We'll be launching the second half. Sorry, and will be the device will have rich features, not more than the tic-tac-toe game or the OX quiz for our previous generation, but it will have a reach based on the Android. And we'll use we'll have the more ideas, and the idea will become true with a new platform, and we will have the very good business in also not only in Korea but also in the US and Europe. So we'll be doing good with the Qualcomm, and may the wearable be with you. Thank you.
So John, you said your expectation was X, you did 3X.
Yes.
What's your expectation for June 3?
More than triple. Cannot say the number yet, but we see very high expectation for the device.
All right, excellent. Thank you. I was trying to pin you down, like you did not take the bait. These watches, once you taste them, you can't live without them. You get them for free. You pay the equivalent of $5 or $10 a month. You always know where your 7-year-old daughter is. She can always call you. If she leaves school when she's not supposed to, your phone rings. I don't know how you put a value on something like that. So we are truly changing how people relate to their kids with products like this. Next up is Jason. And Jason tells me, why does a kid watch have to look like a kid watch or look like a watch? So Jason is here from the Bay Area. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Jason Burton, the head of engineering at Surface Inc.
We're a Silicon Valley-based product development firm, and we've been around about 17 years, and we kind of have a motto at Surface Inc. that we like to work on cool stuff and see it get to market. So although you maybe never heard of Surface Inc., you've probably heard a lot of our clients. We work with a lot of the best known and loved brands in consumer electronics, and we get equal joy working with lesser known brands and helping them get their first product to market. So in our 17 years, we've been able to ship about 400 products. So that's a lot of cool stuff that we've gotten into market. Last year, we got the opportunity to help our client Mono, which you see up there, deliver their product at and announce their product at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. And this product is really unique. It's kind of a crossover between a mobile device and a wearable device, kind of intended to be a pocket watch form factor. And we kind of noticed two things when we worked on this product. The first thing was something that Terry and Pankaj talked a lot about, was just the wonderfully stingy power consumption without letting go of any of the really good performance that you get out of the chip. Another thing we noticed was it's really difficult for small companies to launch their products and get access to this Qualcomm platform, and so we all kind of realized together that there's got to be a good way for the small companies to get their products and innovate faster. So we're excited to announce that we've partnered with Qualcomm and Pankaj's group to provide a tool to help customers in the mobile, IoT, and wearable spaces get to market faster. So we have this tiny, really useful, customizable platform, and it's based on the Snapdragon Wear 1100 chip that we're announcing today. And with the cooperation of our good friends at WeBands, who you'll hear a little bit about quite soon, we're able to provide this platform based on the design that we're working on for them. So this new platform can be implemented almost directly into a product and help jumpstart the development cycle. And it'll be available next quarter, July 1st, I think. And we believe this platform is going to be a great tool, and we at Surface Inc. can't wait to see how it helps the wearable, IoT, and mobile cool stuff get to market. So thank you very much.
Okay. The prize for traveling the farthest goes to Jose. Jose is here from Peru. I hope you are awake, Jose.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Jose, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. You know, the first time I carried my newborn girl, I realized that love has to do at least with two things. One, the caring. The other, the worry. We worry a lot about the people we care the most.
Last but not the least, we are lucky to have Ryan, founder of WeBands. Ryan, please. Ryan arrived at 4 a.m. this morning, so I hope you're doing well.
Still up.
Okay.
Thank you, Pankaj. My name is Ryan Shapiro, and I'm very excited to announce WeBands today. WeBands is the smallest and the simplest tracking device available today. It's based on the Snapdragon Wear 2100, It utilizes 4G LTE networks, so it gets on and off the network super fast. Power consumption is incredible. We're looking at more than 4 days of power consumption on this. And it's very, very small. Why does that matter? Because children will not wear anything that's clunky or big. No matter how many games you give them, no matter how great it looks. I have 3 little kids myself, and they refuse to wear any watches. But when I give them this, when I give them the Wii Bands, even my 3-year-old has no problem walking around the entire day, doesn't even notice it's on. It's tiny. And that's because we only do a couple things. We basically just track where the child is. So there's no screen, there's no buttons, you can't shake it to make a call or anything like that. It's very, very simple. It just tracks where the child is. So we're very excited about this, not just because it's great for children, but because you can take the strap off of it. There's many different things. This is what it looks like without the strap. So if you can imagine, you can easily put a dog collar on here and track your dog. And it's small enough where you can even put it on your cat's collar. They have a pretty big cat, but it's still much smaller than anything out there today. It also works for adults. So people with elderly parents that might have a degenerative disease, Alzheimer's for example, can finally, in an affordable and it's very inexpensive per month as well because it uses so little data that you can track your elderly parents as well. So we're very, very excited to work with Surfacing, with Qualcomm. They're fantastic partners. We just started developing just in the last probably 4 or 5 months after our original prototype, and we have really moved fast because of that partnership with Qualcomm and Surfacing. So before I go, I just wanted to read one email, because this just now, as we were talking, we released our press release for the first time explaining to the world what we do. And the first email came in about 5 minutes ago, and I had to read this. It's from Kermit Hall. And Kermit says, "My sister has Down syndrome and Alzheimer's. Please let me know when the Wii Bands goes on sale." So just within 5 minutes, getting that from a consumer out there shows us how exciting this is going to be. So thank you for having us, and we look forward to more announcements in the future.
So on behalf of all our partners, thank you. To summarize, the wearable space is growing, it's growing fast, it is innovating fast. We are lucky at Qualcomm to have the right technology, the right set of partners, to be already winning. Today's announcement around Snapdragon Wear 1100 complements what we announced 3 months ago with 2100. Together, these 2 chipsets are designed for products like this. I want to thank all our partners for describing what you guys are trying to do. So thank you.